Hello, happy Monday. You are watching the video on the snail problem. So here is the snail that we are going to be looking at. Isn't it a cute little snail? I mean, look at it there in the garden. Adorable. So anyway, the fastest snail. If you never knew the name of the fastest snail out there, it is known as the speckled garden snail. So if you see a snail out there in your yard, who knows, maybe it's the speckled garden snail. And it can move at 55 yards per hour. That's how fast it can go. So think of a yardstick, and how many of those yardsticks can it go in 1 hour? 55 of them. Well, to make it more, where we understand it in our brain, let's take this pace and put it in inches per minute. So we want to take the 55 yards per hour, per 1 hour, and we want to change the yards into inches, and we want to change the hour into 1 minute. So we want to know how fast this is in inches per minute. So just to give you an idea of what this looks like, here's a snail moving along. There it is. Look at that speed. Look at that speed. And that's not even the fastest snail, okay? That's not the speckled garden snail. That's just a snail. I didn't even look up what kind of snail this is. But, look at that speed. Whew. Wow. Okay. So, here we are. How the heck do we do this? Well, first I'm going to start by looking at the yards and converting those into inches. So, do you know the conversion off the top of your head? Yards into inches? Probably not. The one you probably do know, or maybe, is yards and feet. So in 1 yard, that is how many feet? That's 3 feet. And then we'll have to go from feet into inches. So in 1 foot, there's how many inches? Of course, you probably know this one, 12 inches. So if you haven't been in Miss Eberly's group yet, we're going from a larger, a bigger unit to a smaller unit. And when we do that, we need to multiply by the conversion factor. So with the 55 yards, we're going to multiply that by our conversion factor that we were thinking when we're changing yards into feet. And there are 3 feet in a yard. So we're going to multiply that by 3 to get how many feet that is. So let's see if we take 55 times 3, and hopefully you can get this before me, 165 feet. So right now, as of right now, we know the snail, the fastest snail, speckled garden snail, can go 165 feet in 1 hour. Now let's do one more conversion. Let's change that 165 into inches. So now we're going from feet into inches. So again, we're going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. So we're going to have to multiply. And what is that conversion factor that we're using? Feet into inches. Every foot, there's 12 inches. So we're going to take 165 and multiply it by 12. It's going to be a lot of inches, but that represents the same distance as 55 yards. So 165 times 12, trying to multiply it before me. And there I'm at 1,980 inches. Whew. Wow. There we go. But we're not done. So we now know the snail can go 1,980 inches in 1 hour. So far we've converted our first part of our rate into inches, which is what we want. And now we need to change the hours into minutes. So our conversion factor there, every hour has how many minutes? So hopefully you're saying this out loud. There are 60. So we're going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. So we're going to need to multiply. So I'm going to take this and multiply it by 60, which you know is 60. So I'm going to take this and write it that this is 60 inches, or not 60 inches, 1,980 inches in 60 minutes. But we want to know in one minute. So how am I going to get this down to 1? Well, I'm going to need to divide it by something. 60 minutes divided by what will be 1 minute? Well, divided by 60. But if we do that to the denominator of our rate, we're going to have to do the same thing to the numerator to keep it equivalent. So I'm going to divide it by 60 on both. And I am almost there at how fast this speckled garden snail can go per minute. So that's per 1 minute. And I need to take 1,980 divided by 60, which is not bad. It actually goes in perfectly. So 1,980 divided by 60. 1,980 divided by 60, and you're not just watching me, you're trying this yourself. 60 does not go into 1. It doesn't go into 19. It does go into 198. How many times? Well, 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. So I'm going to put a 3 above the 198. 6 times 3 is 18 with a 0. Because we're multiplying by 60. I subtract. I'm left with 18. I still have another digit to get, so I'm going to drop down that 0. And now I notice it goes in perfectly 3 times. So that division wasn't so bad. And I am at 33 inches per minute. Wow. That speckled garden snail can go 33 inches every minute. So just think about the classroom. Think about our desks. 33 inches. Do you think it could make it across this table and get to here in 1 minute time? Think about that. All right, so it can go, like we said, hopefully you thought about it. We got 33 inches per minute. So the question is this 33 inches? So I took another picture. Here's our table. Here's one ruler, which is 12 inches. Another ruler, 12 inches, which we're at 24. And another, which is 36 inches right here. So no, it's not going to make it all the way across. So you'll be okay if you set it over here and you're gone for a minute. You could be probably gone for 2 minutes because it's going to have some issues once it gets over here. Let's say you set it going across this way. So here we are. I have my 3 rulers. In 1 minute's time, is it going to drop off the table? No, it's not, because this is 36. It's going to be about right here. So you'll have to kind of not hurry back, but walk back. Don't just crawl. So that is our snail problem, and now you know the name of the fastest snail out there and how fast it can really go. Thanks for watching.